Have you ever noticed how the quietest endings are often the ones that hurt the most? It is a strange, confusing kind of pain. There is no loud argument, there is no dramatic betrayal. There is only a slow, silent drifting. You look up one day and realize the person who used to know every detail of your daily life is now sharing those very same details with someone else. You feel replaced. You feel a sudden, hollow ache in your chest when you see them smiling with a new friend, laughing at inside jokes you do not understand, spending the weekends you used to share building new memories without you. It is a heavy, invisible grief. When we lose someone permanently, the world understands our sadness. But when someone simply walks into a different chapter of their life and closes the door behind them, you are left to mourn the loss of the living. And in the silence of your own mind, a painful question constantly echoes. Was I not enough? Did I do something wrong? Why was I so easily left behind? If you have ever felt this specific, silent ache, the exhaustion of watching a close friend become inseparable from someone new, this is for you. Stay until the end, because the lessons ahead may change the way you see this pain forever. They may finally help you put down a weight you were never meant to carry. Here is the truth few people want to face. Most of your suffering right now is not actually caused by the physical distance between you and your friend. It is caused by the story you are telling yourself about that distance. Buddhist wisdom teaches us a difficult but beautifully liberating truth. We suffer because we cling. We hold on tightly to the way things were, and we fiercely fight the reality of the way things are becoming. We try to freeze people in time. We expect our relationships to be permanent monuments, forgetting that human beings are actually flowing rivers. Imagine a great tree standing at the edge of autumn. For months, its leaves have been firmly attached to the branches, thriving together in the warmth of the summer sun. But as the season changes, the air cools, the winds shift. The tree does not panic. It does not grip the leaves tighter in terror of being bare. It does not wonder if it is a bad tree because the leaves are drifting away. It simply allows the wind to do its work. The leaves fall, not because the tree failed, and not because the leaves were flawed, but simply because the season has shifted. Human connections are deeply similar. When a close friend suddenly gravitates towards someone new, it feels incredibly personal. Our mind immediately searches for a flaw in ourselves to explain the shift. We convince ourselves that if we were just a little more fun, more supportive, or more available, they would not have looked elsewhere. We turn a natural shifting of the winds into a brutal personal failure. But what if this distance has absolutely nothing to do with your worth? What if it is merely the natural movement of life? Think about your own life right now. Think about the emotional energy you are exhausting by replaying old memories, checking their social media, comparing yourself to this new person, and silently hoping things will suddenly revert to the way they used to be. Ask yourself, is this desperate mental grasping bringing you peace, or is it feeding your fear? Pause, breathe, let that sink in. You are allowed to miss the closeness you once shared. You are allowed to feel the sting of the empty space. But you do not have to fill that space with self-doubt. You do not have to chase someone whose path is currently turning in a different direction, because peace is not found in forcing someone to stay exactly where they were. Peace is found in understanding the true nature of what you are actually trying to hold on to. And this brings us to a fundamental illusion we all share about love, loyalty, and connection. 2. The illusion of ownership in friendship. What if the hardest truth to accept about the people we love is that they never truly belong to us in the first place? When we invest our time, our secrets, and our deep trust into a close friend, our minds quietly begin to build an invisible fence around that relationship. Without even realizing it, we begin to feel a strange sense of ownership. We start to believe that their loyalty, their free time, and their emotional energy are things we have earned, things that permanently belong to us. And so, when they start spending their time with someone new, we do not just feel lonely, we feel robbed. We feel as though something that was rightfully ours has been taken away. You might find yourself silently keeping score. You remember how you were there for them during their darkest days, and it feels deeply unfair that they are now sharing their brightest days with a stranger. You try to grip the relationship tighter. You might reach out more often, desperately searching for proof that you are still their priority. Or perhaps you do the opposite. You build a wall of cold resentment, silently punishing them for daring to look beyond the space you shared together. In Buddhist thought, this is the very root of our emotional pain, the confusion between connection and attachment. True connection appreciates the beauty of another person. Attachment tries to possess it. One of the deepest lessons of Buddhism is that you cannot claim ownership over a human soul. The moment you try to cage a relationship, you crush the very freedom that allowed it to grow in the first place. Imagine standing by a clear, running river and scooping water into your hands. If you keep your hands gently cupped and open, the water rests perfectly in your palms. You can drink from it. You can feel its cool, refreshing relief. But the moment you become terrified of losing the water, the moment you squeeze your hands tightly shut to trap it, the water instantly slips through your fingers. It leaks away into the dirt, leaving you with nothing but empty, tense fists. Friendship is exactly like that water. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it disappears. When we demand that a friend remains exactly as they were, entirely focused on us, we are no longer loving them. We are trying to control them. We turn a beautiful connection into an emotional cage. We forget that they are on their own journey, with their own changing needs and changing skies. Think about your own life. Ask yourself, what are you really afraid will happen if you let go of your grip? Do you want this friend in your life because they are bound to you by guilt and obligation? Or do you want them there because they are completely free? Pause. Breathe. Observe the fear without following it. The next time you feel the sharp sting of jealousy or the desperate urge to pull them back, practice opening your hands. In your mind, release the invisible string you have tied around them. Let the feeling of being replaced rise up in your chest. But do not make it your identity. You do not have to force the door closed, and you do not have to drag them back inside. Do your part, then release the outcome. You can simply let them walk where they need to walk. But letting go of this illusion of ownership is incredibly difficult. It is difficult because our pain is rarely just about the other person. And this is where the next truth begins. Because beneath every desperate reaction, beneath every feeling of being easily replaced, there is an ego quietly taking the distance and turning it into a devastating personal attack. 3. Why the ego personalizes the distance. Here is the truth that is deeply uncomfortable to face. What if the distance between you and your friend has absolutely nothing to do with you? When a close friend pulls away to spend time with someone new, it feels like a harsh, silent judgment. Your mind instantly begins to compare. You look at this new person and wonder what they have that you lack. Are they funnier? Are they more successful? Are they easier to be around? You take a quiet shift in your friend's life and transform it into a loud, devastating verdict on your own worth. You convince yourself that their absence is proof of your inadequacy. Buddhism reminds us that this pain is the masterpiece of the ego. The ego cannot tolerate neutrality. It demands to be the center of every story, even the painful ones. The ego would rather believe that you are deeply flawed than accept the simple truth that someone else's life is unfolding independently of you. Imagine standing by the ocean, watching a ship slowly leave the harbor. As it sails toward the horizon, would the wooden dock crumble in despair? Would the dock believe the ship was leaving because the wood was not strong enough, or because the harbor was not beautiful enough? Of course not. The ship leaves because it has a different destination. It leaves because the tides pull it, and the wind fills its sails. Its departure is not an insult to the harbor. Yet, in our daily lives, we act exactly like a broken dock. When a friend moves toward a new connection, we take it as a personal attack. We scroll through photos of them smiling together, deeply hurt, assuming their happiness is a rejection of the joy we used to share. We forget that other people are driven by their own complex, changing needs. Their new friendship might be answering a part of themselves they are just now discovering. It is about their journey, not your failure. Ask yourself, how much of your current pain is actually missing your friend, and how much is just your ego feeling bruised? What are you holding on to, the reality of the person or the ego's need to be chosen? Pause, breathe, observe the thought without following it. The next time your mind tries to convince you that you have been replaced because you are not good enough, stop. Let the feeling rise without making it your identity. Remind yourself that you do not have to be the reason for everything that happens around you. People come together and people drift apart, driven by currents far older and deeper than our personal desires. You are not powerless. You can choose to step out of the center of a story that was never meant to be about you. But stepping out of the ego's narrative requires us to confront the nature of life itself. It requires us to look directly at the one force we spend our entire lives trying to outrun. 4. The Buddhist truth of impermanence. What if the greatest source of your suffering is not that things change, but that you secretly demand they stay exactly the same? We spend so much of our lives trying to lock our best moments in a glass case. You remember how it was a year ago, the late-night conversations, the unspoken understanding, the comfort of always knowing where you stood. But now, the routine is broken. The text messages take longer to arrive. The weekend plans are made without you. We treat this evolution of a friendship as a tragic error, a mistake in the universe that desperately needs to be fixed. We fight the shift with everything we have. Buddhist wisdom teaches us the profound and inescapable reality of impermanence. Everything that arises must eventually change, shift, or dissolve. This is not a punishment. It is not a flaw in the design of the universe. It is the very nature of existence itself. When we refuse to accept impermanence, we wage a war against reality, and the tighter we hold on to a moment that has already passed, the deeper we suffer. Imagine a vast, clear sky. Throughout the day, clouds drift across it. Some clouds form beautiful sweeping patterns, lingering for a while, before the wind slowly pulls them apart. The sky does not panic when a beautiful cloud begins to lose its shape. The sky does not chase the cloud across the horizon, begging it to stay exactly as it was. The sky simply remains vast. It provides the space for the clouds to gather, to shift, and to eventually leave. In your relationships, you are trying to pin down the clouds. You are staring at old photos, replaying old conversations, and exhausting your spirit, trying to force today to feel exactly like yesterday. You are demanding that your friend remain frozen in time, playing the exact same role they played in a past season of your life. But the wind has already shifted. The shape of the connection has changed. The more you try to hold on to the ghost of what was, the more you miss the reality of what is. Ask yourself, are you loving your friend as they are right now, or are you merely loving a memory of who they used to be? What are you holding on to? Is this desperate grasping bringing you peace, or is it feeding your fear? Pause. Breathe. Let the memory be exactly what it is, a beautiful memory. You do not have to drag the past into the present. You do not have to chase what is already leaving. Let the storm of your anxiety pass without becoming the storm. Observe the changing nature of your friendship without immediately trying to fix it. Letting go of permanence does not mean you care less. It means you are brave enough to let the truth exist. Because recognizing that everything changes is not meant to break your heart. It is meant to set you free from the exhaustion of trying to hold back the tide. And once we stop demanding permanence from human beings, we can finally begin to understand the true rhythm of connection. 5. People are like seasons, not possessions. What if the person you are so deeply grieving has not abandoned you, but merely transitioned into a different season of their life? Here is the truth few people want to face. We are deeply conditioned to view our relationships as acquisitions. We use phrases like "my friend," "my person," or "my circle." Without realizing it, that tiny word "my" slowly becomes a silent contract of ownership. We place the people we love on a mental shelf, expecting them to remain exactly where we left them. And so, when they meet someone new, when they suddenly spend their evenings and weekends exploring new places with a different person, we feel like something valuable has been stolen from us. We feel a deep sense of betrayal, not because they intentionally harmed us, but because they dared to grow in a direction we could not control. In Buddhist thought, this suffering arises because we forget the fundamental nature of living beings. A person is not a static object. A person is a continuous flow of experiences, shifting energies, and changing needs. One of the deepest lessons of Buddhism is non-attachment, which simply means loving someone without trying to possess them. To truly care for a friend means wanting them to bloom, even if they are currently blooming in a garden you do not own. Imagine sitting in a quiet, open meadow. A beautiful wild bird lands on a branch right beside you. For a moment, it stays. It sings a clear, gentle song, and you share a peaceful, perfect afternoon together. But eventually, the wind changes. The shadows lengthen. The bird lifts its wings and flies across the valley to a different tree, where it sings a completely new song. The meadow does not mourn the bird. The branch does not feel inadequate. It simply appreciates that the song was shared for a time. It understands that the wild bird belongs to the vast sky, not to the branch. Right now, your friend is simply a bird exploring a new tree. You see the photos of them laughing with someone else. You hear about their new plans, their new routines, and their new inside jokes. But perhaps this new friendship simply brings out a different side of them, a side that perfectly matches their current season of life. Their connection with someone else does not erase the beautiful song they once shared with you. The memories you built together are real. The loyalty you shared was real. But their journey is currently taking them through a different sky. Think about your own life. Think about the past friendships you have naturally drifted away from over the years, not out of anger or malice, but out of quiet necessity. Ask yourself, if you have the right to gracefully evolve and shift directions, does your friend not have the same right? Are you truly angry at them, or are you just angry that the season has changed? Pause. Breathe. Observe the thought without following it. You do not have to hold a grudge against the winter simply because you miss the warmth of the summer. You do not need to punish them for flying. Let them experience their own season. Stop trying to force the door open and simply let the winds of their life carry them where they need to go. Because when you finally stop demanding that people belong to you, a profound sense of relief washes over your spirit. You stop trying to win a silent competition. But to reach that peace, you must first stop looking at this new person as your rival. 6. The trap of comparison and measuring worth. What if the sharpest pain you feel right now is not actually about your friend drifting away, but about how you are using their new connection to silently punish yourself. Here is a painful reality. When we see a close friend becoming inseparable from someone new, our mind immediately turns into a courtroom. We place this new person on the stand and begin to quietly cross-examine them. We scroll through their pictures. We analyze their personality. We wonder if they are more successful, more entertaining, or simply easier to love. We turn human connection into a bitter, invisible competition. We convince ourselves that affection is a scarce resource, a limited currency, and if our friend is giving their time to someone else, we believe it automatically means our own stock has crashed. We feel deeply devalued. In Buddhist thought, the habit of comparison is one of the deepest traps of the suffering mind. It is born from the false belief that our worth is relative, that our value constantly goes up or down, depending on how much attention we receive from the outside world. Buddhism reminds us that connection is not a fixed pie that runs out. The light of human affection does not diminish simply because it begins to shine in a new direction. Imagine a single, quiet candle burning in a dark room. Its light is warm, steady, and beautiful. If someone walks into the room and lights a second candle on the opposite side, what happens to the first candle? Does its flame suddenly shrink? Does it lose its warmth? Does it become less valuable because another flame now exists? No. The first candle continues to burn exactly as brightly as it did before. The presence of the second flame does not steal the light of the first. Yet, in our relationships, we act as though every new candle immediately blows out our flame. When you see your friend sharing coffee dates, sending long messages, or building inside jokes with someone else, your mind tells you that your light has been extinguished. You measure the depth of your years of friendship against their current Saturday afternoon. You forget that the warmth you provided and the memories you shared remain completely untouched by whatever they are doing right now. Think about your own life. Think about the heavy, exhausting energy you spend secretly competing with a stranger who has done nothing to you. Ask yourself, is this constant measuring helping you find peace, or is it just a way to continually reopen your own wound? Why are you handing over your fundamental sense of self-worth to someone else's weekend plans? Pause. Breathe. The next time you catch yourself measuring your worth against this new friend, gently stop. Let the feeling of inadequacy rise. Recognize it as an illusion and let it pass. Do not follow the thought down into the dark. You do not have to win a competition you never actually entered. You do not have to prove that you are better, or more loyal, or more deserving. You are enough, exactly as you are, even in the quiet space they left behind. Because true peace begins the moment you stop measuring your light against someone else's. But discovering that profound peace requires you to take one of the hardest actions of all. 7. Releasing the need to force connection. What if the harder you try to pull them back, the further peace moves away? Here is a painful reality. When we feel someone slipping away, our deepest instinct is survival. We panic. We look at the growing distance between us and our close friend, and we immediately try to fix it. We become the ones constantly reaching out. We send the casual check-in messages. We suggest the weekend plans. We try to be overwhelmingly supportive, excessively available, and perfectly accommodating. We secretly hope that if we simply make it easy enough for them, if we just remind them of the laughter we used to share, they will turn around and choose us again. We try to artificially manufacture the effortless closeness that used to exist naturally, but all this does is leave us feeling completely emotionally exhausted. We end up sitting in silence, analyzing the flat tone of their short replies, measuring the hours it takes for them to respond, and feeling entirely empty when they cancel. In Buddhist thought, this is the agonizing difference between flowing and forcing. When you try to force an outcome, you are operating from a place of deep, agonizing fear. You are violently resisting the present moment. Buddhism reminds us that the greatest suffering is found in the gap between how things actually are and how our ego demands they should be. The more you try to bend the reality of this shifting friendship to your will, the more you break your own spirit. Imagine standing in a deep, rushing river. If you place a small wooden boat on the surface of the water, the river carries it beautifully. It glides effortlessly, moving exactly as it was meant to move. But if you jump into the freezing water, grab the boat by its edges, and try to drag it violently upstream against the heavy, rushing current, what happens? The water batters you. The boat begins to splinter under your tight grip. You exhaust every muscle in your body, fighting a massive force you cannot control. The river is not trying to hurt you. The river is simply flowing. You are the one choosing to fight its natural direction. Right now, in this friendship, you are trying to drag the boat upstream. You are trying to force a connection that is currently pulling in a different direction. You are investing all of your precious energy into keeping a heavy door open that the wind is naturally pushing shut. Ask yourself, think about the quiet dignity you sacrifice every time you silently beg for a fraction of their attention. Do you truly want a friend who only stays because you are exhausting yourself to keep them there? Is this frantic, desperate effort bringing you peace? Or is it feeding your deepest fears of being unworthy? Pause. Breathe. Step out of the rushing water. You do not have to chase what is already leaving. Stop trying to orchestrate the perfect reunion. Let the feeling of distance rise up, but do not immediately rush to fix it. Do your part. Leave the space open with grace, and then entirely release the outcome. Let the river flow. Because a connection that truly belongs in your life will not require you to constantly fight for its survival. Peace is not found in forcing someone to look at you. Peace is found when you stop running after them and finally learn to sit quietly with yourself. And this is where the final truth begins. 8. Finding your own unshakable center. Remember the silent ache we spoke about at the very beginning? That hollow, exhausting grief of feeling replaced, watching someone you love build new memories without you. For so long, you have allowed that pain to convince you that you were somehow not enough. You believed that if you were just a little better, the distance never would have happened. But you are beginning to see the truth now. The distance is merely a change in season. It is just a wild bird flying to a different tree. It has nothing to do with your fundamental worth. In Buddhist wisdom, the ultimate practice of non-attachment is not to become cold, distant, or indifferent. It is to cultivate an inner sanctuary that cannot be shaken by the coming and going of the outside world. When we base our entire sense of peace on the constant presence of another human being, we build our house on sand. The moment the tides change, our foundation washes away. Buddhism invites us to build our peace on a deep, unwavering self-respect. Imagine a vast, deep mountain lake. On the surface of the water, everything is constantly changing. The wind creates ripples. The drifting clouds cast passing shadows. A bird briefly lands on the water, then flies away to join a different flock. If the lake were attached to the bird, it would throw its waters into a violent storm the moment the bird took flight. But the lake simply allows the reflection to pass. The surface may change, but the profound depths of the lake remain entirely undisturbed. It is whole, complete, and silent, regardless of what flies above it. For so long, you have been living entirely on the surface of the water. You have been throwing your spirit into a violent storm every time the wind shifted. It is time to sink back into your own profound depths. Ask yourself, how much of your inner peace have you unknowingly handed over to someone else's choices? Why are you abandoning your own center to stand in the doorway? waiting for someone who is already walking down a different street. Pause, breathe, call your energy back to yourself. You no longer have to wait for them to turn around. You no longer have to prove that you are worth choosing. You can finally lay down the heavy, exhausting burden of trying to control the wind. Let them experience their new connection. Let them walk their path. Forgive them for changing, and more importantly, forgive yourself for believing their change was your fault. You are allowed to miss the beautiful moments you shared, but you must also deeply respect yourself enough to let the present reality simply be what it is. Because true peace was never found in the hands of another person. It was always waiting quietly inside of you, patiently hoping you would stop looking outside and finally come home. If these lessons touched your heart, share this video with someone who may need a little more peace today. Let life meet you where you are.